I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next on the agenda, we have the moment of silence, which has been our custom for many, many years for those serving here and abroad to return home safely to their families. And a roll call. Mr. Bierman?
Here.
Mr. Camerata?
Here.
Ms. Grover?
Here.
And Ms. Hockman is out, and Mr. Carley is out. Mayor, next on the agenda, we have the open public meeting statement. I will read that aloud. In compliance with Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of 1975, notice of this meeting was given by way of annual notice filed with the Township Clerk, the Home News Tribune, the North South Brunswick Sentinel, and the Trenton Times, and posted on the bulletin board in the South Brunswick Municipal Building on January 11th, 2024. Next on the agenda, we have the public portion. Is there a motion to open to the public?
Let's do it. Motion to open.
Second.
We have a motion second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Is there anyone from the public wishing to speak? Yep. If you can please just state your name for the record.
My name is Rob Weissman. Just want to say one thing, and this is really to the South Brunswick Police Department and the other emergency services, fire department and EMS. As you all are pretty much aware of the number of serious accidents and incidents on Route 1 the last couple weeks. As one of the responders that was there, both with the EMS and full disclosure, I do work for South Brunswick EMS, and I'm also the Deputy Chief of Kingston Fire. So I've been on a number of these incidents. I'd like to thank the PD, the South Brunswick Police Department, and the other emergency services for their actions and work that they're doing and they've done. In light of dealing with all the tragic events that they had to deal with on Route 1, I think they've done a phenomenal job. I'm also very happy to see that the South Brunswick Police have taken actions to try to help stem some of these incidents with their enforcement, enhanced enforcement they're doing on the roadways. I noticed it as a resident, and I noticed as a traveler on Route 1, amongst other roads in the town. But I think it's been, I just want to thank them for their efforts, and I think that they need that recognition for what they do. So, thank you.
Well said.
Thank you for your service, too. And just so you know, we have been talking with the PD for, 2 years, right? Joe, at least about 2 years on that same situation, the incidents on Route 1.
Yes.
Obviously, we can't stop them or control them, but we can maybe lessen them, and that's really what we're trying to do, everybody is. Thank you.
Thank you.
And if you like, Lieutenant Penny and Captain Rickle are right there if you want
That's
to
okay.
talk to them.
I've talked to them I've talked to them several times.
Okay. But thank you again for your service also.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Motion to close the public portion, please?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Mayor, next on the agenda, we have discussions. The first item here tonight is a potential ordinance approving the application for long-term tax exemption and authorizing the execution of a financial agreement with 4112 to 4126 U.S. Route 1 Urban Renewal LLC concerning the property known as Block 84, Lot 4.05.
Any discussions to the right? Anybody comments, questions?
Well, Mayor, may I suggest, because again, we've been asked about this, if we could just have a quick description for the public to know what we're talking about. But I'm good to move it forward, but I think we'd let the public. Thank you.
Yes, Councilman Camerata, this is a ordinance that would permit a long-term tax exemption and a financial agreement with the property owner. This property was subject to, was declared an area in need of redevelopment. Subsequently, a redevelopment plan was put into place for the development of the property. And these are just agreements that authorize a financial agreement and a 30-year pilot program for taxes for this parcel when it is developed and there are improvements on the property. So it's a benefit to the township, and also it allows a financial security for the property to be developed in an appropriate manner. So
Thank you, Mr. Midnight.
Any other questions
Good to
or
go.
comments?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Great. Thank you, Mayor. So we'll move that forward then for introduction at the next regular meeting on May 15th. The next item here for discussion tonight is another ordinance, potential ordinance. This is amending Chapter 118, Vegetation, Article 4, Trees of the South Brunswick Township Code regarding tree removal regulations.
Yeah, so I can add a little bit to this. This is coming from the state. They're mandating, and everybody's got the information on it. They're mandating a lot
It's housekeeping.
stringent, very stringent tree ordinance in every township. We are very fortunate that we had a tree ordinance, so we can do some minor modifications. I worked on this a little with the Shade Tree Commission, and our township attorney, not Mr. Campusano, he didn't have the pleasure of my ugly face here talking about it. Mr. Womack did with Mr. Bidlack. But I think, based on what the state's mandating and what we had, I think this is our best scenario.
I agree. It's right, basically, it's just housekeeping. We already have an ordinance in place. It's somewhat limited because it's only for a size 1 acre or over.
Yep.
So this will apply basically to everything, and that's what the state wants. They mandate these things, and as Mayor Camaro used to say, unfunded mandates, but we got to pay up for them.
Yeah,
Yeah, so, okay.
Ready to
thank
move
you.
forward?
All good.
Yep.
Okay.
yes.
Great, thank you. So we'll move that forward also for introduction at the next regular meeting on May 15th. Next, we have manager's report. Mr. Bidlack?
Okay, thank you, Madam Clerk. Just a few things tonight. First is an announcement that this Saturday, May 4th at 11 a.m., the township will be holding their first Veterans Recognition Street naming ceremony
This year.
this year. And we've done several of them in the past, but this will be the first one for 2024. This one will be at the corner of J Court and Frida Lane in Kendall Park, and it will be in honor of Anthony Fusco Sr., who served in the U.S. Army during the Vietnam War. Just a reminder to residents, we have nixled this out, that starting tomorrow, weather permitting, a portion of Sand Hills Road from Hawthorne to Old Beekman Road will be milled and then subsequently paved. These activities will be going on from 7 a.m. till 3:30 p.m. each day until the project is completed. So please be aware that there will be some construction on Sand Hills Road in the next few weeks, weather permitting. The next thing is the annual, not the annual, but the curbside brush recycling collection program is going to begin on Monday, May 6th, and this may take several weeks to complete. Residents will get one pickup each. The material must be placed out by May 6th. Anything placed out after May 6th may not be collected, determined if we've been in that area or not. So all brush needs to be out there by 6:30 a.m. May 6th, so the Public Works Department can begin with our trash recyclers collections. That's all I have this evening. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Mayor, next on the agenda, then we have the consent agenda. We have items number 1 through 7. If there's anything anyone would like pulled to discuss tonight, otherwise we can move all 7 forward to the next regular meeting for action.
Everybody's good? Perfect, let's move them forward, thank you.
Thank you. We'll move those forward to May 15th. Mayor, next we have items for action. The first item here is an ordinance for first reading. This is ordinance number 2024-11, adopting the AST redevelopment plan for 4315 US Route 1 and Campus Drive. This is Block 98, lots 2.013 and 2.02. Just for the public's information, we do have a revised version that was provided on the dais tonight, so this would be introducing that revised version.
Motion to move it forward.
Yep. Second?
And a roll call. Mr. Camerata?
I should have said as amended, but as amended.
As revised,
Before.
mhm.
Yep. Yes.
Thank you.
Second.
I have motion and second. Mr. Camerata?
Yes.
Ms. Grover?
Yes, second.
And Mr. Bierman?
Yes.
Thank you.
You just told us.
Next, under actions, we have 3 resolutions. If there's no objection, we could take all 3 together, unless you'd like one pulled.
Well, I think custom, we should probably certainly read at least number 2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't hear that.
yeah, we should read, let's
Yeah.
read at least number 2. So.
Okay,
So I'll make a motion to move them all forward with the caveat that we like to read number 2.
Sure. Is there a second?
I'll second.
So we have a motion and a second to adopt all 3 resolutions and a roll call. Mr. Camerata?
Yes.
Ms. Grover?
Yes.
And Mr. Bierman?
Yes.
And then you'd like to read one, you said?
Sure. Well, read them all. Go ahead.
Who wants to read?
I can read.
You want to read? I know you can read, but you want to read this one?
You want me to
Well,
read?
Prove to the public you can read right now.
You know what, the best thing I can say, I don't know English, I don't read. Okay. All right, let's go. Recognizing Anthony P. How do you say Fusco? Fusco,
Yep.
Senior, for his services to our country, ensuring freedom for all. Whereas the Township of South Brunswick Veteran Street Sign Program allows Township residents who were wartime veterans to be recognized by adding their names on the secondary street sign to an existing municipal road. And whereas by adding names of local wartime veterans to public street signs, we hope to promote public awareness of these individuals and show our appreciation for their outstanding contributions and service to our country as a member of the United States Armed Forces. And whereas eligible military candidates for this honor include honorably discharged veterans having served in military departments and defined under Department of Defense, which includes departments of the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine Corps, and the Coast Guard. And whereas wartime veterans are individuals who served in the active military forces during a period of armed conflict or who received the armed forces expeditionary or other campaign services medals during an emergency condition, including those who died in the line of duty in the active military forces. And whereas Anthony P. Fusco Sr. has been selected to be recognized in the Veteran Street Sign Program, and whereas Anthony P. Fusco Sr. was born in Jersey City, New Jersey on October 29, 1948, where he resided until moving to South Brunswick Township, where he became a Port Authority of New York and New Jersey police officer. And whereas Anthony P. Fusco Sr. enlisted into the United States Air Force on January 5, 1968. He served as a security policeman specialist and a canine handler in Vietnam and Korea. He also attended Combat Security Police School. And whereas Anthony P. Fusco Sr. served in the United States Air Force until his honorable discharge on November 3, 1973, with outstanding leadership and courage, receiving the National Defense Service Medal, the Armed Forces Medal 900-3, Republic of Vietnam Campaign Medal, the Small Arms Expert Marksmanship Ribbon, SAEMR, the Armed Forces Expeditionary Medal, AFEM, and the Air Force Good Conduct Medal, which is AFGCM. Now, therefore, we, the Mayor and the Township Council of South Brunswick, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, do hereby recognize Anthony P. Fusco Sr. for his distinguished services to our country, ensuring freedom for all. And I thank you very much for your services, Mr. Fusco. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Grover, and thank you, Mr. Fusco.
Thank you.
Senior.
Yes. You can thank Junior, too.
I can.
Did I read it right?
Yeah.
In English?
Very good.
Okay.
There, if that's all, then we can move on. Next, we're pretty much done with the business of the meeting other than the executive session. So if we can now have a triple motion to adopt the resolution, go into executive session, and then adjourn immediately thereafter.
Motion for do a triple motion.
Oh, no.
Okay. How do we do that? I make a motion to,
Do the triple
Adopt the
motion.
resolution, go
Adopt the
into executive
resolution.
session, and adjourn immediately thereafter.
okay, now you can do it.
Thank you. And we have a motion and a second, and a roll call. Mr. Camerata,
Yes, good night, everyone.
Ms. Grover,
Thank you. Yes.
and Mr. Bierman.
Yes.
Thank you. Good night,
Thank you.
everyone.
Good night, everybody.
Yep.